Hi guys, welcome back to Style by Victoria channel. If it's your first time on this channel, you are highly welcome. I am super excited to have you here. Consider subscribing and click on notification bell so that whenever I upload new video, you will be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming to watch my videos. I really appreciate that. So today I'm going to show you how to cut and sew a very simple party gown. So I have here this fabric. I think it's called sequence velvet, and I have here this stretchy fabric. I'll be using it as a lining, and I have this chantilly lace. I'm going to be using this as the yoke and also the sleeve. Okay, so the gown is going to have just one sleeve, and the other side I'll be forming a beaded loop using this bead I have here, and I also have this trimming. I'll be using it around the yoke. You see? Okay, so that's that for the gown. So for the gown, I'll be using the princess dart pattern. That is the armhole princess dart pattern for the front. The gown is going to have joining at the waist. Okay, so I'll be using this armhole princess dart pattern for the front, and for the back, upper back, I'm going to be using this basic bodice pattern for the back. Okay, so if you want to learn how to draft an armhole princess dart pattern, I'll be leaving a link at the description box. So for this pattern, I'm going to alter it now. So I'll start with the neck. The neckline here is 2.5 by 2.5, which is very small. So I'll be increasing the neckline by 4 inches. So that means I'm going to go in by 1.5 here, and I'll also go down by 1.5, and I'll connect back. Now I'm coming to the center front here. This is my chest line. This is bust point line. I hope you can see the lines. This is chest line, bust point line, under bust line, and the waist line. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down from the chest line. I'm going to go down by 1 inch and mark. I have already done that. Is 1 inch mark. So starting from this point, I'm going to connect to that 1 inch uh, mark. Using my pattern master, I'll connect. I've already done that, but let me still highlight the line. You see? So this part is going to serve as the yoke. Now the other part I'm going to cut on fold. I'll use it to cut the main fabric and also the lining. And for this one, I'll be cutting two, one for the left and one for the right side. I'll also use it to cut the lining, and I'll be adding 0.5 at this side to join to this other piece. I'll also add 0.5 around here to join to this piece. The pattern already have a side seam allowance and also armhole allowance. So that's that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the lower part of the gown. Okay, for the lower part of the gown, I'll be working with line 28. That is from here to here. This line is 28 inches. So the waist I'm working with is waist 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5, plus 1.5 seam allowance will give me 11 inches. Now because the fabric I'm working with is a stretchy fabric, I'll be minusing 0.5 from that measurement. So I'll minus 0.5 from 11 inches, I'll be left with 10.5. So I'll mark 10.5, and this is it. So the hip depth I'm working with is 9 inches. This is 9 inches here. The round hip I'm working with is 52 inches divided by 4 will give me 13 inches minus 0.5. Remember I said I'm working with stretchy fabric. So 13 13. The hip measurement is 52 inches divided by 4 will give me 13, plus 1.5 seam allowance will give me 14.5. I'm going to minus half from that 14.5. I'll be left with 14 inches. So I'll mark 14 inches here. So for the hemline, I'll be minusing 1.5. You can do 2 inches, for 1.5 is super fine. So I'll minus 1.5 from 14 inches. I'll be left with 12.5. So I'll mark 12.5 here. So I'm going to connect the points. So I'll cut now. So I'm using the front to cut the back. I mark out 1 inch for the zipper allowance, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the that allowance of 1 inch for the back. The front doesn't have that, but the back is going to have that. So from the side here, I'm going to mark 1 inch and I'll connect it back to the hip. So this is my hip. I'll connect this way. And I'll cut out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open up the zipper allowance. You can see I cut on fold, so I need to open it up. So when I'm done doing that, I'll use this main fabric to cut the lining. The lining is going to be 3 inches shorter than the main fabric. I'll also cut the upper part using the pattern, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. So I'm done cutting out the gown. As you can see, this is the center, the front piece is the center, side front piece. And I also cut the lining as well. This is the center piece for the front. I also cut out the lining as well. This is the lining, and this one is the back piece. That's the upper part of the back. And I also cut out the sleeve. It's just one sleeve the gown is going to have, and the sleeve has two fabric combined. Okay, you can see if you look at the picture on the thumbnail, you see that the sleeve has two different fabrics. And for the yoke, I've also cut out the yoke, as you can see, and the yoke has two different fabric. The one on top of the main fabric, that's it has a lace and this other type of fabric. So for this other part, the smaller part, the smaller part, I'm going to use a paper and trace out this very one, this main one, and I will cut out the smaller one that will be on top. This is a sample of what I've cut, but the shape I have here is not, I don't too like the shape, so I'm going to cut out another one. I've gone ahead to trace out this main yoke, which is what you're seeing here. So what I did is to mark the pattern this paper has is 1 inch shorter than the main yoke, and from the side here, the shoulder side is 1.5 shorter than the side. You can see the line. I don't know whether you can see the line. Let me bring my camera closer. You can see this is where the shoulder stop, and this is where the center side stop. is one from here to here is 1 inch shorter than this very one. So what I'm going to do is just to connect this point to the shoulder, and that's the line you're seeing. And I will get the midpoint of this line and mark, and from that midpoint I will go out by one, or go in by one, half inch. There is 0.5. I want to curve this side, so I'm going to use my curve ruler this way and connect like this, and I will connect back to the shoulder this way. So I'm going to cut on this curve line. You can see this side is not straight, it's kind of curvy. So that's the shape I really want for the, or the second yoke. You can see it's not like this, it's curvy kind of. So I'll go ahead and use this fabric, use this pattern and cut on this fabric. Okay, so that's that. So when I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to sew this way. That's the two yoke now. I'm going to use this very one to turn the neckline inside. Remember, this is not what I'm using. I'll be using this paper I trace out the pattern to cut a fresh one. So I'm going to sew the neckline this way so I can turn the rough edges in. So by the time I finish sewing, it will look like this. Okay, I hope you're not confused. So I'll go over to my machine and do that now. I'm going to join the pieces together. That's the upper piece, join the back to the down part of the gown, fix the sleeve, and I'll come back and show you how to sew or fix your loop. That's the beaded loop. Okay. Okay, I'm done sewing the gown, as you can see. So I want to show you the full length. It is possible. You can see this is the full length of the gown. I'll still show you properly when I'm done fixing the loop. So look at the neckline. I beaded the neckline instead of using the trimming I showed you earlier. I changed my mind. I decided to bead it. I don't know whether you can see it. So this is the bead. Okay. So I've started forming the loop, the beaded loop, as you can see. So this is it. It's not sitting properly because it's a mannequin. By the time the owner wears it, it will sit properly on her arm. So I want to quickly show you how I achieve this. I start by threading my needle. I'm using a beading needle size 11. I thread the needle, then knot the needle on the fabric, then start feeding my thread with the beads this way. It takes time. Okay, so I continue doing this until I get the desired length, and I will take it to the other side and I will knot. Now the space between each loop is 0.5, you can see. So if I'm going to tag this one, I'm going to make sure it's at the 0.5, then I will knot it. Now for the shoulder joining, I came down by 1.5 before I start. So let me knot this one. See? So I'm going to knot it 3 to 4 times, and I'll cut off my thread. Please, I'm knotting it at the wrong side of the fabric. Let your this thing no show at the front side, please. The knots don't allow it to show at the front side of the fabric, at the right side of the fabric. Okay. Okay. So for the length of the loop, let your creativity guide you. But I will go ahead and measure the first one, so I'll know the difference between the first and the second and even the third. So the first one is 9 inches. The second one is okay, 10 inches. The third one is 12. The fourth one is 13. So you can do one inch difference, or you can do more than that, depending on what you want, the spacing that you want. Okay, so let your creativity guide you. Okay, so that's that. I'll go ahead and do few more, and I'll come back and show you the finished look. I'm done fixing the loop, as you can see. So this is the neckline. This is the sleeve. And this is the full length of the gown. If you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.